Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome back to the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe playthrough. Is a statement I never thought I would ever say again, but Nintendo had other plans when they revealed back in February that this game was not done yet. That's right, the Mario Kart Booster Pass is here. We have 48 new tracks on the way for this game. 8 of them are out right now. We'll get the other waves as we continue on over the next year and a half. But yeah, we have more tracks to race on, folks, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Between when I ended this playthrough the first time and now, I've put so much more time into this game. Literally hundreds and hundreds of extra hours into this game. I've improved a lot. My stats have gotten very significantly different, just in terms of what they were at before anyway. Here's my online play. I'm now over 40,000 VR, have won a lot of matches online. Yeah, it's been a ride, and I'm excited to actually play more of this game for you guys because yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and we now have officially more content to talk about. So here's the deal. Nintendo announced in the last Nintendo's Direct that they'll have some extra DLC for this game. You can get this DLC by either purchasing it online through the eShop, or if you have the Nintendo Online Expansion Pass, you'll actually get this extra DLC for free until you no longer have the Expansion Pass. It'll introduce all of these new tracks and waves. I'm guessing it'll have 2 cups per wave. So, 12 cups, 4 tracks per cup. That's an additional 48 tracks we'll have. And to basically access this stuff, all you have to do is go to Grand Prix, or just anywhere there's a course select of some kind. And when you get to the course select screen, just press the L and R button and you'll go to all of the new cups and all the new tracks that we'll have. These are the only 2 we have right now, but we'll have some more cups as we go through the next few years. But yeah, for this part of the playthrough, I am going to be essentially what I did for the first part of the playthrough. I'm just going to be playing through all the tracks, all the new tracks that we'll have. I'm not going to do it in Grand Prix mode, though. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go to Versus Race, because in Versus Race, you can actually set the number of races you want to go. So I'm actually going to choose 8 races, and we're just going to go through all of the tracks one by one and take a look at all of them. I'll talk about them, give my kind of first initial impressions of them, and we'll pretty much just do it like that, pretty much. As far as my combination, this is the combination I'm going to use. I have Mr. Scooty with the roller wheels and the Bowser glider using Bowser. This has actually become my main combination that I like using when I play this game. Not only is Bowser now my favorite Mario character, but I think this is a really good combination for him. Gives him some very good control, utilizes his fast speed, and yeah, it just feels really good to play as him with these stats. The Mr. Scooty, I think, is a very well-rounded vehicle to use because, it's not too fast, but it has really good control, so if you balance it out with the right wheels and the right character, it can actually be a very formidable combination. It may not look like much, but it's pretty damn good, I have to say. And yeah, as far as other settings, we're just going to do 150cc, no teams, normal items. We'll put it up to hard com. We'll choose the races, and of course we'll have 8. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this, guys. So we're going to go to the first set of the Booster Pass. We have the Golden Dash Cup, which features courses like Paris Promenade, Toad Circuit, Coco Mountain, Coconut Mall. And then we also have the Lucky Cat Cup, which features Tokyo Blur, Shroom Ridge, Sky Garden, and Ninja Hideaway. So the basic deal for these tracks is all of these tracks, at least this is the impression that Nintendo gave us, all of these tracks will be tracks that have been featured in another Mario Kart game before. We're not going to have any new creations like Wild Woods or Ice Ice Outpost or anything like that. No, they're all going to be classic retro tracks from other Mario Kart games. And one of the things they are going to highlight are tracks from the Mario Kart Tour mobile game. And honestly, these were the tracks I was the most excited about because I don't have Mario Kart Tour. I have no intention of playing Mario Kart Tour. So as a result, this is going to be my way to actually experience these tracks firsthand. So I'm honestly pretty excited about that. But they'll also feature some other tracks from the series history. Some of that of which been remade before, some that haven't. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So let's go ahead and get started with the Golden Dash Cup. The first track we have is Paris Promenade. This is from Mario Kart Tour. And it's based off of the real-world location of Paris, France, which is pretty freaking cool. So the unique thing about these Mario Kart Tour tracks, and keep in mind, I don't have Mario Kart Tour. I have not played Mario Kart Tour. So I don't know all the facts, but kind of the big thing with that game is a lot of their tracks kind of have like very open-ended paths because there's like different variations of each of the tracks. Like you have a normal track, you have a track where you go backwards, you have like a tricking variant course, stuff of that nature. So for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which doesn't really have that, it had to make like one just kind of well-fledged out course just based on the normal course layout. So here we have Paris Promenade. The first 2 laps are going to be very similar. You go through the very same path that you go through pretty much. But when you get to the final lap, the course layout will kind of change a little bit. You'll be kind of forced down a different path. And one thing that's kind of cool is you actually end up kind of going through the course in reverse, which is actually kind of neat. But in the normal route, there are basically kind of like, there are a couple of split paths you can take. Honestly, I think for a very basic course and like kind of the start of this DLC, I think it's actually pretty good. This is probably one of my more favorite tracks of the DLC, if I'm being honest. I think it controls very well. It's not like too complicated or anything. It's, just got the right amount of variety. And it honestly looks really nice too. It's honestly a pretty cool looking track, all things considered. But yeah, that was the first 2 laps, so now we're going to go to the final lap, where, like I said, things will change a little bit. We're going to go down this road, and we're essentially going to be heading through the course in reverse. And be careful, because you can run into the other racers right here. And I remember the first time I played this, I actually ran into someone who was bullet billing, like, down that road, which was kind of funny. But yeah, you pretty much just go through the course in reverse, though. And that's really all there needs to say about it. But yeah, it's a pretty decent track. I think it was definitely a good one to bring back from Mario Kart Tour. And it'd be cool to see some of the other tracks that they actually have. And not just in this, DLC pack, but in the future, because I'm willing to bet they'll add more. And I've heard from people who have played Mario Kart Tour, there are some pretty cool tracks that could be on the way. One that I actually heard got brought up was the Vancouver course. That could actually be a really cool one to race on, so I look forward to seeing that at some point. I know there's also like a United States course, like I think it's called like New York Minute. That honestly I could see getting added, and I'm sure there'll be like at least 1 or 2 tour tracks per every DLC. That's kind of the impression I'm getting anyway. So next up on our tour through the DLC Cups, the first wave, we have Toad Circuit. This is the first track in Mario Kart 7, kind of just the basic circuit track of the game. Honestly, I feel like if they had to bring back one of those very first like circuit tracks that have been in like all the Mario Kart games, I honestly do kind of like that they brought this one, because this one is like a little more open when compared to tracks like, Mario Circuit 1 from SNES, Luigi Raceway. I think Peach Circuit was the GBA one. And then you also have Luigi Circuit in Double Dash, which that one's pretty cool, but it is still very basic. Then you have just like the most basic course ever called Figure 8 Circuit, literally just a figure 8. So I'm kind of glad they didn't bring that back, if I'm being honest. And then you have, I think it's Luigi Circuit also in Mario Kart Wii. That one's a little more open-ended, but I do kind of like this one. It's very basic, but, you know, it has some sections that you can kind of, like, use mushroom shortcuts across. There's even a gliding ramp, which does make use of that, because, you know, that was when they brought in the air glider, so obviously to kind of make use of that, it makes sense to have, like, an air glider here, too, so yeah, pretty cool they actually have that as well. I couldn't get that banana in time, unfortunately. Looks like Baby Daisy has another freaking red shell. I'm gonna do this so I can get some more items. Okay. Oh, hello, blue shell. Yeah, go ahead and hit Baby Daisy. No, don't hit me. Hit Baby Daisy. But of course, the blue shell gets counteracted by the lightning, so I'm not even gonna get a huge boost of speed over that. And now I could be in trouble because now I'm going to have a coin and I have no way to protect myself. So hopefully I can get a good double item here. At least just like a banana or a shell to protect myself with. Okay, that works. Okay, we should be good for the rest of this. I'd hope anyway, I'd hope. Let's see if I can... I want to hit Peach, not Baby Daisy. Oh, I did hit Peach. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yay! We won! We won in a multitude of ways. How about that? But yeah, that course is okay. Not really a whole lot to say about it, but I think it races and feels pretty good, all things considered. So next up we have Coco Mountain. Coco Mountain was originally on the N64, Mario Kart 64, and I believe it was also a retro track in Mario Kart DS. But here's the cool thing. We haven't seen this track in a while. We haven't seen this track since Mario Kart DS, so obviously this track came back, and this is the Mario Kart Tour variation of this track. But it does kind of get beautied up a bit. Like, this track looks really, really cool. And I'll be honest, Coco Mountain is probably one of my least favorite tracks in Mario Kart 64, so... Honestly, seeing like kind of a different look to this actually does make this track a little more fun to race on, if I'm being honest. Like, it has this like little cave section right here, which was definitely not in the original. I think the original just had like a small like 1 second tunnel that you go through, and then you go out here and you have like a gliding section, which that was definitely not in the original. So. Yeah, they actually managed to introduce some new aspects to this track, and I think this is a really solid retro course. I do have, like, some issues, like, some of the turns can be a little weird, but, you know, aside from that, I mean, the turns were really weird in the original, too. If anything, this is more open than the original, so this is a retro track I can definitely get behind. I know it is, again, just the Mario Kart Tour variation, but, you know, it has... aspects about it that I think are really cool. Again, I really love this cave section, which looks absolutely beautiful, seriously. But yeah, I think this is honestly probably not my favorite of the Cup, because I still really like Paris Promenade. But still, it's a really good retro track, and I'm glad they actually introduced this back into Mario Kart 8, basically. So, really, really well done, Nintendo. Yeah, I always seem to have issues, like, on this course, like, in that final stretch. I just always get hit by something, whether it's the rock, or just, you know, a red shell or something like that. But I am usually able to, get out of that over time, so it's not too bad. And, of course, I'm gonna get blue shelled, but that's fine. I have a red shell to not only protect myself with, but also to use if they happen to pass me, so I have that going for me. Wish I wouldn't have gotten a coin, though, because a coin may not help me defend myself if I lose my red shell like that, but thankfully, I should be good here. Then I need that banana. Okay, I'm gonna write this here, and... yeah, we did it. Alright. Oh, it looks like Lemmy hit a banana. He still got third, though. Sometimes I feel like the map, like the mini-map, and like the final placement positions, like, sometimes they don't look accurate. It's like, okay, something crazy had to have happened for that character to still get third after he hit a banana after the race was over, technically. I don't know. Just kind of weird things I notice on the minimap sometimes. So here we go. Next up we have Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii. And I believe this game, this track also came back in Mario Kart 7 as well as a retro track. Here's the thing about Coconut Mall. I know people love Coconut Mall. I know there's a lot of memes in regards to Coconut Mall. I'm going to say this right now. Coconut Mall is a great track in Mario Kart Wii and in Mario Kart 7. I'm not too much of a fan of this track in this game, and this is honestly where my big problem with the DLC tracks that they're making for this booster pass, that's pretty much where this comes into play, because I feel like when you race on a track like this, compared to most of the other tracks you race on in like the base game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, something just kind of feels off about it. And I think it's because, like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's kind of made to be this, like, you know, very open, anti-gravity game. But these tracks, because it fits more of the Mario Kart Tour mold, I feel like it's kind of harder to race on tracks like this, because the tracks themselves feel more constrained, more congested, I guess you could say. I'm not saying that they're bad. Like, I mean, honestly, this place does look very colorful. And, you know, I know a lot of people have complained about the conveyor belts not being escalators and whatnot. But that's not my issue. My issue is just the track itself just feels very congested. And I kind of wish they would have, like, kept it more open like the originals felt. Because I think even, like, the Mario Kart 7 version of this track feels more open than this. I mean, it has been a while since I've played Mario Kart 7, but still, like, I do kind of, I don't feel like it's, like, I'm as squished like I am in this version of this track. Again, I don't think it's bad, I just think that compared to, like, what we have in the base game, like the original 32 tracks, plus all the DLC tracks we got from the original Mario Kart 8, just this course just seems more lifeless than what those other tracks are. And I think it's mainly just due to the fact that, you know, this track, in comparison, when talking about the other tracks, they were just designed to be under a different platform. And I get that. I get that. Like, we're talking about, this is a phone version of this track, compared to what's supposed to be, like, a console version of a game. I get that. So it's like, I don't think it's bad, but, like, I think this track is definitely kind of the evidence that I just don't feel like the same kind of effort went into these tracks compared to the tracks in the original base game and the base game DLC. Those are my thoughts. Those are the thoughts I'm sticking with. This is obviously only the first 2 cups of this DLC, and we have a lot more to go, so, you know, things could obviously change over time. And we'll just have to see how the rest of the tracks pan out. But those are just kind of my initial thoughts. Maybe they'll put a little more work into, like, some of these future tracks. I kind of doubt they will, though. I think we're literally just getting the tour versions of all these tracks, because obviously Nintendo's working on Mario Kart 9 now. This is content that I think is easily made just to kind of hold us over before Mario Kart 9 and the next Nintendo system comes out. That's what I honestly feel like happened here with this DLC. And that's the thing. While that does seem lazy, I'm not saying the tracks are bad. The tracks, I think, are very good. They're fun to race on. It's more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm not going to complain about that. But, you know, if I were to make a full masterless ranking of all the tracks in this game, I'd be very hard-pressed to make sure that the first 48 tracks are generally going to be ranked higher than these tracks. There might be some exceptions, due to, you know, there are some tracks I really don't like from the base game racing on. But, still, like, in terms of general quality, I just feel like anything we got in the base game is going to be largely superior to this. But again, that doesn't mean that the DLC stuff is bad. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on to the next track, Tokyo Blur. Tokyo Blur. I kind of slurred my words right there. This is another real-world track based off of Tokyo, Japan. Again, you kind of have the same design made here that was in Paris Promenade. Because this track was made with, you know, different variations in mind. I believe the first 2 laps are going to be the same layout, pretty much. While the last track, it's going to switch it up a little bit, and you'll go down a different path, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about this track. Honestly, I think I kind of find Paris Promenade a little more interesting. It's alright, like the backgrounds look pretty neat, and you know, you're kind of racing on highways, which is not really something you did in Paris Promenade. It was more like kind of like the city square and whatnot. But I don't know, it's kind of I feel like this course is just like very short. It just kind of ends way too quickly. I feel like there could be more things going on, for example. Also, sorry about that, Baby Daisy. I needed to do my thing. But yeah, I know that was like a huge thing that a lot of people were kind of like... I've seen a lot of arguments on social media about these tracks. Like, even just like looking at like the graphics, the general graphics. Like, you can look at like the grass textures of like one course in the original game versus the grass textures of the DLC tracks. And yeah, it looks very noticeably of lower quality. But... you know, it's kind of like a very, like, cliche thing to say. Like, graphics are definitely not everything. But I can also understand, like, the people on the other side, too. Where, you know, it is a very noticeable difference in quality. And Mario Kart 8 was already a fantastic, amazing game. And it's just people wanting the same amount of effort that they put in that already amazing game to also be putting this extra content as well. Because I think there could be some distractions if, like, for example, you race on a whole bunch of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks, then you move to one of these DLC tracks, and, like, I could see someone maybe not doing as well just because they're kind of more used to the, like, more open tracks and the anti-gravity stuff and all that other stuff. That's just kind of what I believe anyway. But yeah, that was Tokyo Blur. I wouldn't say I'm really, like, super fond of this track. Probably one of my least favorites of the new tracks in this DLC. But it's alright. Again, it's not bad or anything. Next up, we have Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart DS. I don't think this got remade in any other game. In fact, I think this track is actually, like, not in Mario Kart Tour yet, but I think a lot of people are saying that, oh, this is going to be in Mario Kart Tour before long. So, you know, it's something that's expected, pretty much. But, yeah. Shroom Ridge does make a comeback, so we actually do have a traffic course. And unlike Toad Harbor, or not Toad Harbor, Toad's Turnpike, I feel like the traffic will actually be more annoying in this track. Because you actively have to avoid it. You won't have the, like, the overpass or bypasses to get through everything. But yeah, this course is kind of neat. I do like seeing, like, this track again. It does have a very unique look, you know, kind of having that kind of, like, traffic layout trope that you see in other Mario Kart games, but, you know, it's kind of a unique setting. You're on, like, the side of a cliff almost. A ridge, I guess you could say. And, yeah, it's pretty neat to kind of see this in a more higher quality Mario Kart game. Not that the original looked bad or anything, it's just, again, it was on the DS, this is on the Switch. Literally almost, like, 20 years later. We have a nice modern rendition of this. But aside from that, I don't really have too much to say. There are a couple of shortcuts that are pretty interesting. Obviously, you can take a mushroom and go up there to hit that glider ramp, but I don't have a mushroom, so I can't really do that. And one thing that I personally noticed, I might actually go into time trials and try this later, but right here, if you actually have a mushroom, I think you can actually boost off of here and get that like wind current to kind of skip this entire turn here, which is kind of a neat little shortcut there as well. I haven't actually done that yet though, but kind of interesting that they actually have like a shortcut to that degree. But yeah, I'd say this is probably like middle of the pack in terms of the DLC. Like I do prefer this probably over like Toad's Circuit, which is pretty you know, pretty basic. But don't know if I'd have it over like Coco Mountain or Paris Promenade though, just because I just kind of enjoyed those experiences. More so of like the fresh dynamic, and honestly that could like change over time too. Like, I might love these tracks now, but who knows, they could be some of my least favorite over time, like when I race online or something. That definitely happened if you took a look at my ranking list of the base game tracks of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I'll try to actually put a link to that in the video description if you're interested in seeing that. Basically, I ranked all the tracks of the original game before the DLC came out, and just have like a nice ranking of all the tracks in the game, ranked from 1st to 48th. Gave my opinions on all of them, how I feel about the tracks, and just the order that I would want to play them, pretty much. And I'll probably do that for the DLC tracks as well, but once all of them come out, obviously. So next up we have Sky Garden. This was in the Game Boy Advance version of Mario Kart Super Circuit. It also came back in Mario Kart DS. And we have it here in this game now. Pretty noticeable change, I gotta say. We have kind of like this brick road, which I don't think the original had. It had kind of more of like a green road almost. But yeah, it looks different. It looks different enough. It is kind of short, and that's like the one thing I'd probably have to say about it. But it's alright. I prefer it over Toad's Circuit, that's for sure. But yeah, you have that nice little bouncy leaf shortcut. I knew that was actually... There was a shortcut like that in the original, but it was not through leaves. You actually kind of went on this like thin strip of land or something. But yeah, it's kind of like... When you're judging like the SNES and Game Boy Advance tracks compared to like the other like retro tracks, I find like it's kind of harder to remember what the original layouts of these tracks looked like. Because that's the thing with this track. I don't really feel much of the original track layout here. And it's not because of like the leaves or the mushrooms or anything. It's just like I don't remember like the turns going in this fashion. I think it's just because I haven't played a lot of Super Circuit. I could probably recognize that a bit more with like Super Mario Kart, but Super Circuit is easily like my least played Mario Kart game, like not counting Tour, obviously. So I'm not really super familiar with the layout of this track anyway, but you know, it does feel like it's different. Like if someone told me that like they put me on like this track and they're like, okay, yeah, here, race on this track, I probably wouldn't have been able to put together that it was Sky Gardens. Like I would probably realize that, oh, this kind of reminds me of Sky Gardens, but if I wasn't told that it was a retro track, I could honestly just see this being called, like, Mushroom Heights or something like that, because, like, you're in the sky or whatnot. So it does kind of lose, like, a little bit of its identity, I guess, but I do think it's a fine track. Once again, I'd probably rank it higher than Toad's Circuit, but probably wouldn't put it above Shroom Ridge, though. Just kind of comes and goes a bit too fast, I think. So let's go ahead and do the final track of this DLC. We have Ninja Hideaway. Now, I find this very interesting because This is called Ninja Hideaway, right? But why does it not have the tour name attached to it, like the other tracks do? Does anyone actually have, like, a explanation for that? Because I don't exactly get why that doesn't have this on here. But either way, this track was first introduced in Mario Kart Tour. So no, this is not a completely new track. This was in Mario Kart Tour. I just don't really know, like, why it doesn't have the tour name attached to it. But yeah, this is probably, of all the tracks that were introduced in this DLC, this is the track that has the most going on. Like, this is probably the track that feels the most like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe course. And because of that, I'd probably say that it is the best one. It's definitely very difficult, though, because there's, like, a lot of branching paths and a lot of different sections you can go through in this one. And sometimes you can kind of get tricked into running into the walls, so be very careful. I want to take the lower route first. But yeah, in here you have to avoid these ceiling trap floor things. And then you go over here. You get a nice little gliding section. As you go up to the sky. You can actually land on those rafters up there, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to keep things going as we're going to take the lower route of this course. But you get to the top route if you jump up here on this wind current. And then you go through here, across these rooftops. I'm actually surprised that Blue Shell still went after Peach. I was definitely in the lead at that point. Whatever, I'm not going to complain about not getting hit by a Blue Shell. Definitely not going to do that. So now we're going to take the top path here. Unfortunately, we're not going to take the very top path. We'll have to do that later, but that's fine. Sorry, Shy Guy. You were in my way. But now we're going to take this top path. Not really a lot to say about this, though. You just end up on these wooden platforms that you would have gotten up here if you took that wind current anyway. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much all she wrote about this course. But yeah, it's really, really neat. I do really like the design of this course. It's really, really cool, and you know, it definitely feels like a Mario Kart track that was introduced in 8. And that's what I really love about it. But it is definitely the most difficult course, too, so keep that in mind, especially when you're being targeted by items like this. I may not actually get first place after that. We'll have to see. So I'm going to go ahead and try... Oh, shoot! I didn't know you could actually hit those. That's the first time I've hit those things. My bad. Okay, well... This is going to be close. I might be able to catch up. Gotta get a good item here, though. Sorry, Lemmy. Woo! Okay, that was close. But yeah, there we go. That was great. Really enjoyed showcasing this for you guys. Sorry there was like a lot of talk and banter in between races sometimes, but again, I just wanted to get like all of my thoughts out there. But yeah, really enjoyed racing on these tracks. If I had to kind of give like an overall, like general ranking, not gonna like actually rank them, but like, you know, definitely the big highlights for me were definitely Paris Promenade and Ninja Hideaway. I do think Coco Mountain was a really good retro revival, as well as Shroom Ridge. Toad Circuit and Sky Garden are okay. Tokyo Blur kind of underwhelming a little bit. And Coconut Mall is probably my least favorite of the new tracks added, but it's still fine. It's just something you have to kind of get used to, that it feels like more constrained than what the, you know, the original versions feel like. But yeah, really enjoyed playing through this. Look forward to see what other classic Mario Kart Tour, or what classic Mario Kart tracks will come back. Will also be good to see some of the tour variations that they bring over as well. As far as tracks that I would like to see in this DLC, just for fun, we'll see if this does actually come true. But let's see. In Mario Kart 64, I would love to see Bowser's Castle from that game come back. Really cool track. It'd be cool to see that kind of brought back in a modern game like this. I know it was in Mario Kart Wii, so it wasn't like too long ago that we saw that, but still, it'd be cool to see that one. From Super Circuit, I'd love to see Sunset Wilds. I also know that there is already a Mario Kart Tour variation of that track, so it's logically that we are going to probably see that at some point, and that's cool. That's a pretty cool track as well. From Mario Kart Double Dash, I would love to see Wario Coliseum come back. That's a great course. It's really epic. I'm surprised they haven't brought it back yet, if I'm being honest. From Mario Kart DS, gonna be kind of a rogue pick here, but I'm actually gonna pick Delfino Square. Haven't seen that since Mario Kart Wii, I believe. Yeah, because it was in DS, it came back in Wii right after. It's a pretty good track, very basic, not a whole lot going on, but it is a track that I would like to see come back again, because it had a pretty good aesthetic and a pretty good layout. Although we will likely see we'll likely see Waluigi Pinball come back in some form, just because of how popular that track is. Mario Kart Wii, I'd love to see Toad Factory come back. That's a great track. Would be great to see that come back in some form. And in Mario Kart 7, I'm going to say Shy Guy Bazaar. That's kind of a track that I think gets overlooked quite a bit, and a lot of people don't really like that track too much, but I've always been kind of fond of it, so it'd be neat to see that one come back. And as far as Mario Kart Tour is concerned, I don't really have much to say about that because I've never played it. I don't think I mentioned Super Mario Kart, did I? I don't know, Ghost Valley or something. I don't really have any strong preference for Super Mario Kart, I guess, but I'll say Ghost Valley. We'll have a Ghost Valley track come back, I guess. So yeah, we'll see if we get any of those tracks. We'll see if we even get them in the next wave. Not really sure, but this has been SlimKirby. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Later, folks.